Hi everyone, I'm Rob of Easel Water Treatment. Today I'm going to show you how to install the HUE 400 underneath your kitchen sink. I have all the tools already ready here and already have the box open and ready so you can see everything that you got. This is the first step. We'll be installing this. Make sure you shut off your water before you go ahead and do this part. So this part gets a little tricky. You have to slide on different pieces for this. Start with the nut, then you put your little sleeve on, like so. And this insert you gotta kind of push into the tube. It just gives the little ring something to crimp onto without damaging the tubing. You need to really make sure it goes all the way in. You can use a counter, something, and just make sure you push it all the way in like that. Then you slide the plastic sleeve over top and the nut on top of that. Then you insert it into the fitting. And you tighten it. You want to make sure you don't over tighten it, because otherwise you'll pinch the tubing. But now we are ready to install it onto the main supply line. So now that you have this fitting all plumbed up, ready to go, you got to make sure you turn off your water, depressurize the system by opening up the tap after you've turned it off, and then you cut the pipe. Now if you have copper piping, you need a copper tube cutter. And you just use that by tightening it and going around and it will cut. If you have PEX piping, which we have here, you use just nice little tube cutters like this. As you can see, I already have this one installed, and it's very simple. As soon as you cut it, you just push the pipe in and you'll feel it actually go all the way in. Once you're there, turn the valve to the off position, repressurize the system to make sure you have no leaks. This one is not leaking, so now we're going to move on to the pre-filter installation. So here we have the pre-filter. It will have these little red clips on it first. Make sure you remove that. You are going to be putting them back on though. So keep them nice off to the side. Undo your housing and locate where you're going to put this. Keeping in mind, you need to have enough room for a bucket underneath when you change the filters. So I'm going to put it there. I'm going to mark my holes and make sure it's level. Now that we have the housing located where it's going to be, we're going to install the filter, as you see. We're going to apply a little bit of plumber's grease or Vaseline, petroleum jelly, all the same thing. It helps keep the seal, the O-ring, from getting overstretched and then not sealing in time. Once you've done that, try to make sure you don't get any on the filter, but aside from that, just install and hand tighten. Then you take from the valve that you've installed already, plug it into the in on the pre-filter. You'll feel it click in, and this is where you put the red clips back. Turn on the water for a little bit to start saturating this filter, just so that way we can make it so the customer can start drinking the water sooner. Now we'll move on to the main unit. Now this is the main unit coming out of the box. I've already put the filters in and already greased the seals on these one. Same thing as you do with the pre-filter, just right around the O-ring and away you go. So I'm going to be putting this up on this side here, and same idea. Get your level out, drill your holes, screw it in. I've already pre-done the holes to make this go a little quicker. Now that that is on there, you're going to take the end from it and plug it into the pre-filter. And then that's where you take the other little red clip and put it back onto the pre-filter. Like so. So now we're going to put the pressure tank in. Take a little bit of T-tape, go around the fitting about 3 or 4 times. There is a seal there, so it will help, but it's always good to use a little T-tape anyways. Locate your fitting, which was also in the box, and thread her on. Once you got it threaded on, take some of the extra 1/4-inch tubing, plug it in there, and put the safety clip back in. Then we'll put it back under the sink. And it hooks into the T-fitting on the left side of the main easel unit. Again, it's just to push it in, and you'll feel it go, and that's it. So the next part is to drill the hole in the top here. You'll use your regular drill bits, start small and slowly work your way up. I already have this hole drilled just to save time. So we take this spigot or faucet, whatever you want to call it, and we'll put that in there and hook that up as well. Now that is nice and tight. So next step would be to get some more 1/4-inch tubing and hook out of the easel unit located on the right and hook it up to the spigot. Within the box of the spigot, you'll find a coupling like this, a 1/4-inch coupling. That is to join the easel unit to the spigot. Just push this on and you'll feel it again, just like all the other ones. And then place on your little locking clip. Take some 1/4-inch tubing now. Put that to the out of the unit. And again, replace the locking clip. Like so. Now at this point, the unit is plumbed, so it's good to start running the water through it so we can start saturating the filters. And then as the filters are saturating, we'll work on the electrical component. So now from the box, remove your control panel and your AC/DC adapter. Locate where the power is. Luckily enough, we already knew we were going to need power, so we have a cord right here. Plug her in. I'm going to put this panel right here just because it's a nice out of the way sort of spot. Same idea as last time, drill your holes, try to get everything level. And then plug her in. I recommend just putting a 1/4-inch holder here just so that way it guarantees that the connection isn't lost at some point. And then on this wire, you'll notice that it has a point on the one end. You join it to the harness that's attached to the actual easel unit, the HUE, and it has a point at one end as well. Just line them up, push them in. Now the unit will be able to be powered. Click on the control panel. You'll see the blue light. That means it's treating because there is a flow of water. So the next step for us would be to turn off the faucet. Wait for the blue light to go out because that means it's pressurized. We're also going to open up the pressure tank now. So we start filling that because we need to clean out whatever's left over from the manufacturing process. So now that the blue light is off, we know the system is fully pressurized. So I'm going to start checking for all the possible leaks. If anything does leak, most of these fittings you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's, any sort of big box store like that. So the first thing I do is always check the very first fitting. I just run my fingers along because if there's any water, you'll feel it. And check that fitting, it's good. That fitting's good. Housing's not leaking. Then we move over to the main unit. Do the same thing. Just feel around. Make sure there's no water. And it feels like we're good. And the pressure tank doesn't seem to have any water leaking out either. So that's good. Now you want to kind of tidy up your wires a little bit. Like I said with this one, it's good to put one there and try to hide the harness any way you can. Whether you use more of these 1/4-inch clips or zip ties, what have you, just, it just makes it look a little nicer. But aside from that, everything's pretty much good there. So all that's left now time to start enjoying some nice easel water. Oh yeah.